Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here and I'm back for another crafty video. So, where we left off last time was I was trying to get this to stick for the gilding. Now, I have a confession. I thought the camera was recording, but it wasn't. So, I did some of this without you, okay? But I'll show you what I've done. I've moved on a little bit as well. So, I had coloured it in with the gold pen. Remember the gold pen? The two gold pens. Well, it was actually three, wasn't it? Because that one was running out, or one of them was running out. Anyway, and then I gilded over the top. Okay, that was the bit where I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. So remember, I wanted it to kind of look a bit like it's been around, seen better days, which I think it's come out really well. That's kind of just what I wanted. So I then started on this, and remember I wanted a mirror on the front. Well, I cut this mirror. So this was one of these mirrors, and it's made of acrylic. And I cut this down, and I used the same technique as you would do if you were cutting a ceramic tile by scoring it, and then snapping it over something. I tried snapping it over a pencil, ended up like just having to physically break it, and it snapped fairly straight. I ended up with a slightly jagged line here where I had to snip some of it off, but I don't think that that's a massive issue. So I wanted to do a similar sort of thing on this frame to go on here. And what I was thinking is I might have a collection of these, so maybe a frame, a mirror, and we might go for something round. And I don't know which order they will appear in. Okay, but I wanted to do a similar, like I say, similar sort of thing to this, and I wanted to kind of gild it and get it looking similar. Is all I can say. Similar. I keep saying similar. Stop saying similar, Dave. So I just want something really to protect the mirror part of it, because really I should have done this before I stuck it together, but you know, that horse has bolted. So, well and truly bolted. So, I'm just going to get something that can kind of, only needs to roughly cover the mirror whilst I do such stuff. So, hope you're all well, and everybody is rested and recuperated from whatever activities you got up to over Christmas and New Year. If you do celebrate such things, and if you don't celebrate such things, then you know you might have had some time off. I don't know. You tell me what you've been up to. But I feel rested and recuperated. Although I didn't sleep particularly well last night. Didn't get to bed. I didn't get to sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. Blimey, I was about 18 the last time that happened. But not for want of trying. It was literally, I just couldn't get to sleep. I couldn't get my brain to shut off. You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about this blooming project. That's how bad it's been. So get off me. So, you know, when your brain's full of ideas and it just won't give you 5 minutes peace. Well, it was like that. The problem is, when I wake up in the morning, I forgot what I was thinking about. So it'll all be a completely different thing to the way that my brain was thinking last night. So anyway, like I say, moving on. So I'm just going to do the same thing as I did before, but I'm just going to colour it. And so I'm just going to colour it in with this pen. I mean, like, I'll use this one until the other one runs out. Until this one runs out, sorry. I'll use this one until the other one runs out. Now, that doesn't make any sense, Dave, whatsoever. Because I want to have, I want it to be kind of a bit of a curiosity kind of box, a bit, you know, what you're going to find, what you're going to see. A bit, I guess a bit like where I started with my very first journal, you know, the one where it was like lots of things folded out and did stuff and that sort of thing. I want it to be a bit of a curiosity, and I think that's what I'm going to call it, the curiosity box. I mean, like, you know, I don't know, I haven't decided on that, but that's roughly where we're going with it. I want it to be a bit quirky, a bit interesting, and a bit construction-y, because I really do like making things And I also love aging stuff, so I love stuff to, I like it to make it look like it's been around a while, so I like the faux aging process. It's been said that people think I should have worked in kind of film or TV, not on the screen. Obviously, I've got a face for radio, but on in the background, making stuff look old or that sort of thing. Not stagehand, the props and that sort of thing. The props department, that's what I mean. Dave, get your words out. So that's the reason why you wouldn't be on the stage. Well, the first stage out of here, maybe. Ha-ha. Because I can't get my words out. Although I would have loved to have been a continuity announcer. The person that speaks between programs. Well, they do. I don't know whether it's the same worldwide, but in the UK, and now on BBC One, it's blankety blank or whatever. And that's what I would have liked to have done, that sort of thing. Or weather person. They're not the same as the weather. Well, I don't know whether that's a caricature as well, but they're not the same as they're depicted in America. In the UK, they literally tell you the weather. They're not their own personality in their own right. So they kind of blend into the background. But that's the kind of thing I would like to have done had I had the opportunity, but I didn't. I didn't go to media school, so I didn't do anything like that. And I don't really have a very distinctive voice, so I've never been discovered. So, and I'm not gorgeous or whatever, So, I'm a plain Jane. Well, no, I'm plain James, I guess. But I'm still a Leo and I still like the limelight, so I guess a YouTube channel is my calling. So like I say, I'm just going to colour all of this in. I know it seems like a bit of a fuss, but trust me, it's worth it. It's that, because it will give you that same sort of look as this one, which I don't know whether you really could see before, but there you go. Hopefully you can see better now. It's got that greeny sort of goldy age, which is really weird, isn't it? Because that, I definitely associate that greeny gold with aged gilded stuff. We're doing the Gilded Age at the moment, aren't we? The gilding and aging. So, and you guys are aging watching me do this. So I'm aging too. Everybody's aging. They're all aging. Shut up, Dave. Shut up. Okay. So, today is Friday the 6th of January. I was supposed to spend the day with Brian today, but he had to go to work. He'd kind of misread his shifts. His boss had asked him to work on Saturday the 6th of January, and I think there was a bit of confusion between the two of them. And so Brian assumed he meant Saturday, and his boss assumed that he knew that he meant Friday. So, but he's gone to work anyway. So, we were going to put some shelves up and some bits and bobs, and one of the clocks. Oh, Vic bought me a hanging clock, so it's on a bracket, so it's got a face on both sides. So he bought me one of those for Christmas. So Brian was going to help me get that up on the wall, but it's not happening. Brian's not around, and it's not one of those things that you can really do on your own. Not successfully, anyway. So what I want to do is I want to get some size on this before I move on, and then that can be drying while we do other stuff. So I'm just going to put like I say, it's very sticky, and like, I've just put my arm in it, so so I kind of want it to be, again, in that kind of random, it's peeled off type thing. I can also cover over any bits where I can see if it's white, you know, where I've not painted it properly. I've not managed to catch the painted it, I've coloured it in, you know. If I can see that I've not managed to do that, then that's a perfect opportunity to kind of just stick a bit of glue over it, and that way then the size will pick it up and it'll be sticky and it'll have a bit of gilding over it. The other thing I'd like to do at some point is I'd like to do a diorama. I have done them in the past, I've just never done them on the channel, and I'm not even sure whether it's something that you guys are even interested in. However, I know that Nick the Booksmith has done a few in the past. I personally have enjoyed watching them. Again, I'm a bit like Nick. I am not I'm not a professional. I don't do it in a, I don't do it from a, this is what you do. I do it from the point of, this is what I do. So it might be something you're interested in. It might not be. That's not a lid, Dave. So let's push that over there, and hopefully that will start drying. This is the other one I wanted to do, which these come on like very thick, sticky, and very sticky buds, dimensional sticky pad things, but I don't want them dimensional. I want them to be non-dimensional. You know, I don't want it to be raised up off the surface. Right, okay, so now where is, I want my cheap disposable one just to scrape this off with. I don't want my good one because that'll make the blade all sticky. Potentially makes the handle sticky, and I don't like sticky things. I don't like the feel of sticky things. I don't like having sticky hands. I mean, glue's alright because it isn't sticky, it dries, so it's not actually sticky. But you know, if like you've got a sticky lolly or something, or you've had like a sticky sweet and you've got sticky fingers, I don't like that sensation at all. So shall I do the same thing, or shall I do the non-same thing? Okay, let me just see if I've got to hand another colour, because if I don't have to hand another colour, I won't bother doing that. I was thinking I could possibly do a silvery one. Oh, there's another. I could do a coppery one. I don't know what that's going to turn out like. Let's see. I've just realised I've got these as well. I could try a different approach. I've got these, you know, as well, which is, you're now thinking, I have no idea what he's talking about. No, which is really strange because neither do I. I'll show you in a minute. Patience is a virtue. It's apparently a virtue. I am not fortuitous. Where were all of these things when I needed them yesterday? They were in the same place as they are now, but like they were just hiding. They were eluding me. So I could do. See, I've got the Tim Holtz distress crayons, which I didn't think about. Anyway, I'm not going to use those. It might be too fiddly. So, do I want to go for a coppery finish or a silver? Now, I think silver, because copper is less traditional. I want it to look slightly traditional, so I'm going to go for silver. Hopefully I can cover over the gold that I'd started. I can. I've got some silver gilding flakes as well. I've got every kind of gilding flake you could possibly think of, to be fair, because that's something else I like to do. I like gilding. I gild all of my own picture frames and that sort of thing, so buy them all from the charity shop and then gild them all. So you know, you can make something really cheap look expensive. It hasn't worked on me so far. I still just look cheap. You don't want to gild me though. Like I say, not big on shiny things. So I said that in the other video, I think. And if I didn't, I've said it now. So like I say, I'm just going to colour this in, make it look that kind of matte silver. And then I can gild over the top of this. It's got like a rope effect, and I'm just trying to get into the groove. Get into the groove, boy, you've got to prove your love to me. Oh, you really don't want me singing that. You really don't. Anyway, I don't know what I'm going to put behind this one. I haven't thought about that yet. I think it's probably going to have a photo in it. I'll pick one of those. Maybe one of those will fit, one of the ones that I'd already printed. So, and I don't mind it looking rough because I want it to look like the hands of time have caught up with it. So, you know what? I've just realised I've done. I brought these upstairs so I could put those on to stop my hands from getting dirty. But of course, no, Dave. Why would you do that? Why would you do something like that? Actually follow through on something you'd thought about doing. So I want to have. I think I might put some of this on this one. This is some like gilding. It's mica stuff, and I want it to kind of have that look of like it's tarnished, because silver silver tarnishes, doesn't it? Well, it does so more than gold, I believe. Don't quote me. I don't know what a gold expert would be called. A jeweler. Or a metallurgist. I don't know, is that a word, or have I just made that up? I don't know. Maybe I've made it up, so don't quote me. I want it to have that kind of like that, like an irid. Maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe the mica stuff isn't the right stuff. Let me have a look at this. I've got some of this oh blimey, I've got some gilding wax here. Is that the old one? I think that's the old one. Bought myself some new. Maybe that one. Also got like a tarnished silver one. Let's have a look. I might put the glove on for this. The glove. I'll only do one. I'll be Michael Jackson-esque. Ow. So really want to have only the very bare. Now the only problem with wearing a glove is you don't get the same control, because you can't feel it. I want it to kind of get in that nook there. Maybe I might need a brush to do such things. Maybe a brush that actually wasn't quite so splayed would be good, but never mind. use what we've got. And like I don't want it everywhere, I just want it in some parts. Again, I just want it, make it, I want it, oh, shut up, Dave, can't get your words out. If you can't get your words out, don't bother. I want it to look a little bit aged, and then I can gild over the top of that. It's just that looking, oh, you know, this is a typical way that my brain works, is like it has to look not real, but plausible, I guess, is what it has to. And, you know, maybe that's too much for some people, but that's how my brain works, so I kind of just go with how my brain works. Now, I thought about using the blue, but I don't think blue is the right thing. I think that's much more the colour that you would get in a place where you could get your words out, maybe. No, it would be used, it would be like more of a coppery colour. That tends to have blue hue in it. Now, I'm not going to use loads of this because this is quite dark. I want it to just pick up some of the colour in some places. It's very, very much thicker. This is one that really does need replacing, but it hasn't been yet. I guess I'm determined to try and get as much use out of it first before I replace it. I don't use them very often, so I can't justify replacing all the colours because I don't use them. This is the reason why they've gone hard in the first place. So let's put those back over there, Dave. Okay, so no, Dave, don't rub that on that hand because that hand doesn't have a glove on it. Maybe put that glove on first. So we've got this in this state now, so what we want to do is we want to put some size on this now, because again we're going to gild it, but again we're going to gild it in that kind of like a random, this has obviously picked up the colour out of the gold, look, you can see, but you know, that's going to get covered up anyway. Because it is. Why? Because it is. That's why. Just take my word for it. And like I said, you might not see any or all of the work that I've just done, but it's all part of the fun, isn't it? You know, you've got to make it look random, so okay, that's that. So I'm going to put that to one side now, like that. Maybe I'll take these off. So what I was thinking though is, I'm just going to pick this up for a minute. This is very, I don't know if you can see this, look, it's got very much a dimension. Now I didn't know whether I might try and cut a thing out of here, but I don't think I will. I think what I'll do is I'll make this cover much deeper. You know, you won't see the depth of that by the time you've built it up. So I will do something with the outside of this. I think I have decided now that I'm going to lose the text on this bit, but we won't do anything with that until we've kind of finished doing things there. This is going to have something on it. Again, I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this. I might have a bigger gilt frame, or I might go for some kind of paneling or something like that. I wanted it to look very different. I'm still going with keeping the ribbon edge, but I think I've decided that I'm not going to put that on until I've finished, really, because then if I do anything else, I can hide it. Okay. So one of the things I'm not happy about is you've got this blue line down here. So I'm obviously going to have to put some kind of something down there, whether that be, I don't know, I might put a little bit of this down there. I might have it like torn and with a jagged edge. I don't know. These are all that I'm telling you, all of the quandaries I have at the moment. I have decided though that I'm going to make the little mini journal out of some of my kits. So these are random pages from random kits that I have. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I want to use up, I've got lots and lots and lots of demo sheets, and I want to use up as many sheets as I can. Now, I quite liked that as the cover sheet, but I do remember making a lot of the mini journals using Mod Podge and this on fabric. So what I'm going to try and do is find those pieces and see if I've got one of those that's already been made, rather than making another one, if you catch my drift. I don't even know where they are, to be fair. They may well be in this bag. It's in the bag, man. It's in the bag. Or they may well not be. There are so many things that I did shove in here. I was like, oh no, I need to finish that. I need to finish that. This is the bag of you need to finish it. You either use it or you lose it. So, like I say, I put a whole load of stuff in here, and I don't think that's something I'm going to do on camera, because you could be here for a very, very long time waiting for me to find the bits that I wanted. So, what I did think was I could make the signatures in the meantime, and maybe that's what we should do while we're kind of waiting. So, I think that's what I want on the outside of it. Now, whether that's one that I've already got made up, that sheet, I don't know, but the inside I can definitely do. So the thing with these pages is I don't want them to be white on the other side. So, but I don't mind this. I like this kind of muted background. These are from Aurora, and I can't remember what the other one's called, but they're made to be background pages. So I think I'm going to use those, and then there's a whole load of ephemera that I can use inside. Now I think I'm going to need like an A5 size. I'm just going to fold a sheet of paper and see. Oh look, this has got people's names on it. Won't use that one then. I think it'll be a similar sort of size to that, and it is. And those will be perfect, I believe. I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Yes, do you see that? That's perfect. So that's what we'll do. Is we'll make an A5 size. So what I'm going to do is I could dye them and colour them first, but I think I'm going to make them half the size first, and then they can have a different background. They'll be different. Do you know what I mean? So, so I need a ruler. No, I need to find out what the middle is first. Let's do one and make it the middle. There we go. So I'm going to tear them. Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll do the rest in the same size. So what I used to do is I used to keep every set that I made, every digital that I made, I used to keep the whole set of it. So So I'd keep a copy of the whole set. Now what I'm doing is I'm only keeping the cover sheet for each one, because otherwise it's just a mountain of paper that I really don't need to find places for. I have enough paper in my craft stash without trying to find places for others' bits. It'll also give me an opportunity to kind of just give them a fold over and see how many I'm likely to need. So let's do that. I think I'm going to go for 2 signatures, because that would be perfect. That would use these up nicely. I'll go for 2 signatures, and they will go in there with a cover on them, and I think that'll be fine. I can't get them out at the minute, but there you go. Yeah. So these will need some kind of colouring. Now I could send these out to my favourite place where I get my coffee dyeing done. It's called Brian. Or I could dye them myself. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do on that score. I might just go back to this and see how this is doing. It's definitely tacky. I can't tell because I've got gloves on whether it's tacky enough. So that's what I'm going to do with those. I don't mind having the wonky edge. I don't mind having the straight edge either. Everything can be addressed. You can make it all wonky or you can make it all straight. It's a junk journal at the end of the day. It can be anything you like. So it would be a good opportunity. No, not opportunity. It would be good, sorry, if I could just find those bits of paper that I was looking for, but I don't know where I put them. Oh, hang on. No, these are... Oh, hang on, I do have one. I thought I did. That's exactly what I was thinking. These are the A5, aren't they? That would go... Maybe that one. Because this is the Tim Holt stuff. We shall go for that. No, let's go for that. That's what I wanted to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I've said that. And then this was one I made out of a napkin as well. So, it was a napkin on a piece of tea towel, that one. So it's got a bit more rigidity to it. So I'm going to turn this into the cover sheet. So of course that's going to have to fold over. And I want to... This could be terribly wasteful, couldn't it? I don't want the cover to be the same size as this. So, and I want it to be that way round. So I think I'm just going to take the bit out of the middle, which, like I say, could be terribly wasteful, and use the bit that I want to use. So, but I want it to be bigger because I want it to kind of snugly fit in there, if you know what I mean. So I know that is approximately 16.5. Might be a fraction smaller. Sorry, 16. It's 16 centimeters in depth, in height, which is what? I don't know what that's in inches. I'll try. It's just short of 6.5 inches. So I'm going to go for... I might have to shave it down a bit. I'm going to cut this down to 16.5 centimeters. I might do it with my blade rather than... I don't know how to do it, really. Should I do it with my blade? Let's see where that comes to. If I do a line 16, that's just at the bottom of that A. I don't know. I could cut the width of that off, but I'm going to try and do it a bit more sensibly. I'm use this. Hopefully this will cut it. I have no idea. Where did I say that line was? There it is. No, we want it this way round, don't we? Because we want to be able to see that line. I want to cut on the line, which I've lost again. Oh, there it is. No, that's better if I do it the other way around. Let's go. There to there. That's 16 centimetres. So it's less about cutting a certain amount off and more about trying to get it in the place that I want it. I want to get as much of the text in as I can. Okay, it's cut it. Not that I'll ever be able to use the thing again. But it's cut it. So, now we want to make this 16 centimetres. But we want it to be 16 centimetres high all the way across. So, let's do a line there. A line there. You know, I like to measure 3 times. A line there. If I cut that bit off, cut that line off, that should be fine. That's that bit. I've just scratched my ear with that, with the finger, the dirty finger. So, what a surprise, Dave, what a surprise. So I'm going to have both of these in here, which means that that will have a bigger spine because of that. So we want to have this slightly bigger. So we want to have a line either side of that line, I think. There's no scientific thing to this. This is just me doing my own thing here. So I'm not a big measurer. I'm much more go for it. When it comes to things like this, I want there's an aesthetic I want rather than I want a measurement, if you know what I mean. I think that's the kind of where I want it. So I want it to be there and there. It'll look a little bit like that. Now, I know that that's going to be too big, but actually it's weird because it's big enough that way around, but too big that way around. So I think I want it to be a bit deeper than that. Let's go for a spine that's a similar size to that, and if we have to have more signatures, we'll have more signatures. Stop scratching your face with the dirty finger. The dirty finger. It's 2 centimetres high, so we want this to be, how big is that? I'm looking for just things that are close by that make it easier for me. That's just short of 2 centimetres. Let's use this as the spine for now. Although that means I've got nothing to fold it up with now. Yes, that was something that just fell that way. But, you know, it's all right. We're all right. Everything's good. Everything is good. So let's put a line in there. I'd love to tell you what I'm doing, but I have no idea, so like I won't bother. So that's one bit, and then wombat. Who's got a wombat? That's one bit, and then that's the other bit. Fold it on that line, and then that can be the spine. Hopefully then, if we have that, That will fit into there. Spine will still fit. Will it fit? Does it fit? Can it fit? Can we make it fit? Well, it might have to have a curved spine. Might have to have a curved spine in order to fit. It's alright, we can do that. We'll just make a curved spine, that's easy. Well, it's not easy, but it's easy-ish. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have a curved spine. It's going to look like a proper little book. And we're going to have that. And that's what we're going to do. And we're going to have, it might be more than 2 signatures in there. Although 2 signatures might be enough with gubbins in them as well. Yeah, I'm not going to cut this down until I know roughly what I want to do. So, I'm going to need a 2 centimetre piece of cardboard to turn into the spine. Oh, let's come back to that in a minute. Let's do, well, a minute, next time. Who knows? Let's come back to it, shall we? So, let's finish doing the gilding, Dave, because like with this, I can be a bit ADHD sometimes. I'll get like focused on doing something, and then like I do something else, and then I end up with 15 different projects all on the go, and none of them complete. So, because I've already just off to my left, I've already got another project waiting to happen, which you know isn't going to happen for a while yet. So, we've got to find time for it, and that side of the desk really needs to be sorted because I don't want it to look like it did over. I don't know whether anybody saw my post about what it looked like before and after Brian helped me tidy it. Helped, I say. He kind of did it because it got into a bit of a mess. So this is a sheet of my gold gilding, my gilding gold. I'm just going to put that down all over and tamp it in with, let's take these off because it's better without gloves on. I've got a nice soft brush somewhere here. We're going to tamp it all in to place. I'm not going to worry about pulling the bits off yet that don't stick. We'll sort that out shortly. We need to make sure that it covers everywhere, even if it might not be sticky. There you go. We know it's not sticky on that bit because it didn't stick at all. But you tamp it down. And by tamping it down, it'll naturally break away any bits that aren't attached. There we go. I'll take those bits off. Let's put that into, I have a little box of bigger gilding flakes. You have to be very careful when you open these things up because they all go floaty away. So I can feel that it's tacky on the edges. So I'm going to put some on there. And then I'm going to brush away. So what you need first is you need a soft brush like this. And then you need something a bit more coarse. Just to get off all of the other little bits. So, hang on. This is going to have a bit of gold stuck to it, I'm afraid. I was not careful. Not careful, that's like my motto. I bought myself a mask that I should really be wearing for when I do stuff like this because it's still My lungs still aren't right. Alas, I have no idea where the mask is. Oh, it's here. I bought myself a mask, so... Good old Amazon. It's a little mask. And it's just because I just, like I say, don't want to be breathing in particles if I don't need to, and I can just keep this to hand. I found that out to my peril when I was doing when I was cutting the grey board. Remember, it gave me a bit of a cough. So there we go. Got that on. Not the most comfortable of masks, but hey, it does the job. So perfect. Now I can get on with this. I can brush it all down without worrying about breathing in any particles that might irritate my lungs. So this one's quite stiff. This has gone stiff because it got left to dry with stuff on it, but it's perfect for what we want it for. So we're just going to brush away everything that it doesn't need. And now that I'm wearing a mask, I mean, like, you might choose to wear a mask as well. This mask is not the best mask anyway, I have to say. This is what you get for buying cheap. Buy well, buy once. Or buy cheap and pay the price. It's a 3M though, so it should be good. Or is it a 3M? Is it the 3M suffer with counterfeiting? I don't know. Okay, so that's got that same kind of, its gilded, tarnished sort of look to it. You know, and the other thing is, if you're not happy with it, if it hasn't got enough on it, you can always put a bit more on it. That's fine as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this bit off, he says. You might take this bit off if you can find a way to take it off with. Dave, if you put things back, it wouldn't be quite so bad. Put things back? What do you mean, put things back? This is how you get into this state in the first place, so... Okay. Pull back on this, and then that should come away. Got a little bit of squeeginess underneath the mirror, but never mind. Underneath the protection, sorry. But never mind, we can get that off. That's fine. So there we go. That's our little gilded mirror. And then we're going to come and we're going to do we'll do the silver one now. So I do have some silver paper somewhere. I've got some silver gilding stuff. I don't know whether this is silver. That's copper, because it's got a C on it, which says it's copper. Oh, and Vic has arrived, so just in case you think I'm talking to myself, I'm not talking to myself. Well, I'm not talking to Vic either at the minute. Not because I'm not talking to Vic, but because he's over there and I'm over here. He's just waved to me though, so silver, there we go, that's what we were looking for. I don't know whether I've got any silver already out. Oh no, I do, I've got some silver already out, so this is the silver. I'm just going to tear a bit off. I mean, obviously it's not real silver. Put that to one side. I'm going to put this on here and try and kind of get it to lie in one go. just tamp it down, try and get it to attach all the way around. And again, we're just going to tear away those bits. I used to keep all the tiny bits of flakes and stuff, but just because I have so much of it now, I'm not that worried about the tiny flakes. So we're going to now brush away. And see what we've got. So, just like I say, just brushing away all the loose particles with the soft brush to start with. And now we're going to use this more stiff brush. And we can get away any of the bits that we don't need. You know, all the little hangy on bits. And like I say, if you're not happy with it, you can always go back and add some more size in the bits that you want, in the areas that you want. But I think it's kind of done what I wanted it to do. You can just see that tiny bit there of gold, but I'm not worried about that. I will just say I am now covered in bits of gilding flakes. There you go. So that's what the silver one looks like. So it's got that kind of tarnished silvery look to it. Again, I mean, like this area maybe could have a little bit more silver in. I mean, I might come back and put some more on there, or I might just use some gilding paste and put some of that on there and make it. I don't have any silver gilding paste. Maybe that's a purchase I need. And just cover those bits up. But I'm generally happy with that. Okay, so that's that. So those are going to go with this on here. So obviously that's not stuck on. That was just kind of there. And that's going to go in there. Going to have that and maybe that like that with maybe this here, or might have that in the middle because that's a different colour. You know, I want it to kind of look like maybe a wall where they're not quite straight. And I might, I could maybe have a flower in that, couldn't I? Or I could have a grouping. Oval maybe, or no, not them. That's going to be the same people otherwise. No, I've got some more different ones, but I think maybe I might go for a flower in that one. Maybe like that. Do you know what? I think I'm going to go with that. Or shall I go for another relative? I don't know. Right, so let's have a look and see what we've got relative-wise. Sorry. Oh wait, it's won't. It doesn't know who I am because I've got my got my mask on. So let me just go to my photos regarding those. Just bear with, I'm still here. My gallery, it's fine. It's fine. My relatives, well, they're not my relatives, they're created relatives. It's not them. I don't know where they are. Where are they? I've got that many different projects I'm working on at the moment, so going to have a sip of drink in a minute. I think that's one of my issues. Oh, don't know where they are. So, well, that's typical, isn't it? You know, when you're trying to find things on the hoof for people, for peeps. For a video. No, I might have to come back and do that at a later date because I can't find the people that I was going to use. But I'll print something out using my little mini printer because I absolutely love that printer. It's there's some here, but they're not very clear, are they? No, okay, we'll come back to that and we'll do that at another stage. Okay, but I think it'll either be a little flower or I might find another grouping of people that I like, and they're going to go on the front. So then I think maybe this is where I'm starting to think is maybe that this top half looks like some old wallpaper, maybe a bit, you know, falling apart or peeling or whatever, and then this is like we'll have like maybe a separation here or here of like a dado rail, and maybe something else underneath, and have it a bit like, you know, a wall with a secret compartment inside. Maybe that's what we'll do. We'll definitely turn this into a journal that will fit into there. And we'll make a little spine for that. But that's where we currently are. Okay, so we're definitely going to have those as the signatures. So we've got a lot of definites that we know. We've also got a lot of things that are now more questions to be answered. But that's the fun of creating and making, isn't it? That for every question you answer, you'll end up with a whole host of questions that remain unanswered. So that's where we are. So I hope you've enjoyed today, and you know, I shall see you all in the next video. Hopefully, I'll see you all in the next video. That's if you come back. Remember, my name is Dasher Dave. Please don't forget to give it a subscribe. The subscribe button is just down there these days, I think. And give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you've enjoyed it, or that there's something different in it, or maybe you've learnt something new. Comment if you wish, and I will speak to you all in the next video. I'm going to go and have a coughing fit, I think. Yes, I can feel it coming. So I shall love you and leave you. Remember, I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I'll see you all in the next video. Take care, folks. Love to you all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Big hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care, folks. See you then. Bye. Bye.